Hey guys, I thought I would take some time and show you how I make my DIY glass palettes for super cheap because I'm all about that balling on a budget type of thing. Alright, so as you see I have a gray piece of glass here. It's just from a cheap picture frame that I get from Hobby Lobby. It's one of those pop-out ones. This has paint it's covered, but I'll show you what they're super cheap. Like you tear this off and prop it on the back and the holes to get it to stand up. So yeah, I use that. And what I do is I pop it out in the corner, and it has like paper and stuff in it, and I just toss all that. I don't even use the black frame anymore. And I take the glass part out. I use this like this. I have it in the frame now because I transfer from big to small to put this in the fridge to reserve my paints. That's the only reason I keep that, and then this 8x10 size fits nicely in the drawer. But I like to paint using this. I think this is like a, I don't know, 11x16 or something. Now it's not a very thick piece of glass. It is thin, but I always have it on a table, so it doesn't really matter. And what I do is I pick a side, and I'll paint the other side with a neutral gray gesso. It adheres pretty well. It does get a little streaky, so I'll do like 2 coats or something. And this is what I paint all my canvases with too, so I get a neutral gray canvas to paint on too. It helps neutralize colors, because if you've ever if you've ever put a dark color on like a white surface, it looks super dark. And then if you put a dark color on a darker surface, it doesn't look as dark. So it's much easier to depict the differences in values of your paints when you can clearly see just how dark something is in comparison to, say, white, for example. This is titanium white. And then I can look at my skin tones and see just how light or dark I actually am. And then if this matches my paint surface, it's going to match all the way around. So what I do is, this is like a Master's Touch or Fine Touch brand, just plain white gesso. The label came off, but I got this at Hobby Lobby. It's pretty cheap. And they're always running sales that are like 40% off. So it's like, you know, even cheaper to get stuff from there. And I take, see, it's just now it's a grayish color. I try to get to like a neutral gray. I'll take some burnt umber acrylic paint, not oil. And I'll take, is it burnt umber and black? I'll take burnt umber and black acrylic paint, and I'll put a little bit in of both, mix it together until I get a nice neutral gray color. Sometimes it'll be, you know, warmer or cooler depending on how much black or burnt umber you use. But just make sure you're using acrylic paint to change the tone of this white color. Oil does not mix with acrylic for those who are, you know, new to this. So you get yourself, and it doesn't have to be super expensive acrylic paint, just whatever acrylic paint. I use whatever I had lying around. And then I mix this together, and then you have yourself a gray tone gesso. The only other gray tone gesso I'm familiar with that's easily accessible in the US is by Liquitex, and it's kind of expensive. When you can just, and I think Bob Ross brand makes one too, but you can just make your own for super cheap. I've been using it, and it works totally fine. So take that and put that on one side of your glass, let it dry completely, and then you have a neutral gray palette that you can pick your size, you can pick whatever you want that's going to work for how you like to paint. You can even keep the frames if you want, and that's up to you. I've painted on both, but I'm tending to like them flatter, so that way there's not a lot of echo whenever I hit it with the palette knife. Like there's like a hollow sound that I didn't like. I think this is less annoying. And then this is, yeah, that's just a personal preference, but that is why I do what I do. This one's been pretty used a lot, and you can see there's just some scrapings on there. I use a razor that I got from Walmart. It comes with refills. You just push that open, opens it up, and the blade comes out. You can get more refill blades for super cheap. I think it even comes with some. But I use this to scrape paint from my palette to keep it clean. I like to keep colors clean because I learned that if it's on the palette, it's going to end up on your canvas. So if it's some garbage color paint and you don't want to use it, get rid of it. And this makes it much easier to do that with. After a time, it's going to get some, you know, scrapes and stuff. You can see where the paint's scraped off on the other side, but I mean, it is what it is. It's pretty cheap. And Hobby Lobby has such good deals with stuff. You can literally get these these cheap frames and so many variety of sizes. They'll charge like $4.99, $3.99, $6.99, $8.99 and up for like really big ones, but they also have 40% off coupon that if you go to their website and get the coupon barcode, have them scan it at the register, you get 40% off things that are on sale. I mean, I've thought of so many ways to try to, keep painting cheap, and I know that's what we all want to do. So hope this helped for those who are looking for a DIY kind of glass palette, something to get you started. And if you like it, you can just stick with it and stay cheap. That's all for today. Hope this helps. I'll see you guys later. Bye.